Lately, we always discuss and predict what will happen in Boruto's story, starting from what happens in the next chapter to some destiny that shows Boruto's death. But if we talk a little bit about other things this time, about AKATSUKI, do you know how much sin they have committed in the past? So let's move away from Boruto for a moment to talk about the biggest sin ever committed by AKATSUKI members. Oh yeah, but before that, please like and subscribe. Thanks guys. When we talk about sins or mistakes, it's not just bad people who make mistakes. Because of course, positive characters or those known for their kind personalities also have made mistakes. For example, Hiruzen Sarutobi. He was a Hokage known for his kindness, protecting everyone in Konoha village. However, despite that, Hiruzen Sarutobi was not free from sins or mistakes. Some of his most famous mistakes were allowing Orochimaru to conduct illegal experiments and being accused of corruption. Oh yeah, back to the main point. As you know, AKATSUKI has very great members with above-average abilities. And in addition to AKATSUKI members who are indeed very unique, AKATSUKI also has members who come from various villages. Although their background in joining AKATSUKI is not voluntary, but believe it or not, if they join AKATSUKI members are none other than because there are reasons that make them hurt or something. Maybe the worst is to destroy their village and then join AKATSUKI members. To get straight to the point, here are some AKATSUKI members with big mistakes and sins they have committed. So for the first one is Kakuzu. For your information, Kakuzu is the AKATSUKI member who loves money the most. Besides, he really loves money. Kakuzu is the oldest member because he has lived from the time of Hashirama to the time of Naruto. Back to talking about his big sins or mistakes made by Kakuzu. When he was given the mission to finish off Hashirama, the fact is that Kakuzu failed to carry out the mission. And because of the failure to carry out the mission, Kakuzu ended up getting bullied and also insulted by the village where he lived. And because he has a temperamental nature, and because he had a temperamental and unwise nature, Kakuzu finally finished off the Takigakure leader. In addition to finishing off the Takigakure leader, of course, Kakuzu also finished off the village elders from Takigakure along with all the residents in his home village. And maybe that's the only big sin and mistake that Kakuzu has committed. And then next is Orochimaru. Perhaps of the three legendary Sannin, only Orochimaru has a worse life story than Tsunade and Jiraiya. Besides, he does have a very high curiosity for knowledge and others, Orochimaru also does not hesitate to do things that are even negative in order to fulfill his curiosity. Although Orochimaru had joined AKATSUKI for a short time, but still he was an AKATSUKI member. One of his big sins or mistakes is conducting illegal experiments. Even though the success rate is quite low and sacrifices lives, this Orochimaru still does it to achieve his satisfaction. Worse, Orochimaru even involved children in his insane experiments. Although some of these experiments succeeded, the fact remains that many children became victims due to his experiments. Besides performing illegal experiments, Orochimaru also invaded Konoha. Because of his invasion, Orochimaru disrupted the Chunin exams and even killed his teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen, which stands as his greatest sin. Then next is Deidara. He is the most idealistic AKATSUKI member about his jutsu. Besides having a unique style, Deidara is also one of the members most liked by fans. But with all the abilities and also all the popularity that Deidara has, he certainly cannot escape the great sin to his village. Deidara is from Iwakure and he is also a person who loves art. But because the people of Iwagakure did not really understand Deidara, Deidara was finally considered a strange person and did not accept being underestimated and became upset because he was considered like that. Finally, Deidara blew up several locations in Iwagakure, and the results of the explosion certainly caused a lot of dead victims. And then there was Hidan. He was an AKATSUKI member who came from the village of Yugakure. Unlike other ninja villages, Yugakure is said to be a tourist village, and because Hidan felt that the village was too crowded and also had many visitors, Hidan ended up killing people who visited his village. In addition to making the village scary and also feared, Hidan always did not hesitate to kill people in Yugakure. And maybe that's all I know about the sins he committed before becoming a member of AKATSUKI. Next is Sasori. As we know, Sasori was the grandson of Granny Chiyo. He possessed extraordinary genius. Even at a young age, Sasori already understood human anatomy. With his genius, Sasori managed to create many puppets with structures similar to real humans. Besides creating incredible puppets, Sasori was also known as a poison expert. For your information, the poison Sasori made could only be neutralized by certain ninja. As for Sasori's sin or great mistake, he took the life of a Kazekage. Feeling strong and confident at that time, Sasori tested his strength by killing the Kazekage. Oh yeah, the Kazekage that Sasori killed was Gaara's father. Even with the power of iron sand and similar abilities, that strength was nothing against Sasori. What's even more brutal is that after killing Gaara's father, Sasori turned the Kazekage's corpse into a puppet to be used as a weapon. That was Sasori's great sin as a member of the AKATSUKI. Next is Kisame. Maybe from many AKATSUKI members, only Kisame has a very large chakra. The chakra possessed by Kisame is not obtained from Biju or from anything else, but Kisame got this large chakra probably from his hard training. Besides, Kisame is famous for his large chakra. He also has a very powerful sword, the Samehada. But before joining AKATSUKI, of course, Kisame also betrayed his village first. When he was given a very important mission by his village, Kisame was pushed out by the Konoha ninja. And because of that situation, Kisame finally made the decision to end all of his team members. Because before leaving, Kisame had been given a message by Fuguki. Keep the information as well as possible, and if you can't keep the information, then it's better to lose your life. And because of that, he killed his team members. Because if one of them was captured, then it would be likely that the information would be known by the opponent. But after making all these sacrifices to end his teammates, when Kisame returned to his village, he found out a very shocking fact. Fuguki, who gave the message to Kisame, actually sold the information to another village. Kisame, who was angry about it, finally he ended Fuguki's life. And after that, Kisame took his Samehada sword. So, next up is Uchiha Itachi. Perhaps of all the AKATSUKI members ever, Itachi is the saddest. Not sad because he has no ability or he is a weak person, but Itachi must face a very sad fate. At a young age, he has been given a difficult choice: choose his village or choose his clan. And not only that, Itachi was also faced with great problems that became a burden on his life. Although the tragedy of the Uchiha massacre, Itachi was not only a perpetrator, but he was also a victim. But still, Itachi committed a great sin to Konoha. Maybe in terms of government, what Itachi did was quite right. But since he also slaughtered his clan, it cannot also be called a righteous thing. So therefore, Itachi during his lifetime had to bear the burden of hatred, and maybe that was the great sin committed by Itachi. And the last is Tobi, or Obito. After being manipulated by Madara, Obito went straight to Konoha and immediately messed up the contents of Konoha by controlling the Kyuubi inside Kushina's body. Kushina is a Jinchuriki, and she happened to be giving birth to Naruto. At that time, Obito saw a great opportunity to release Kyuubi. Then, without thinking, Obito immediately released the Kyuubi in Kushina's body and used the power of his eyes to control the Kyuubi and destroy Konoha. With the great tragedy committed by Obito, of course, the people of Konoha experienced bad things, like a lot of Konoha people who lost their parents to losing their homes. Because of the cause of the consequences committed by Obito, the Uchiha clan was increasingly cornered by the Konoha government. Because the Konoha government and its officials are war veterans, so they also know that only the Uchiha clan can control Kyuubi. Therefore, what Obito did was not only destroying Konoha, but he also destroyed his own clan, namely the Uchiha clan, because once again, only the Uchiha clan was able to control the Kyuubi with his eyes. You must know, from the great disaster caused by the Kyuubi rampage, Naruto is one of them who suffered a very bad fate when he was a baby. Exactly at the time of his birth, he had already lost both parents. Although we know that Minato and Kushina did not die by Obito, but still, the main cause is Obito. By releasing the seal and making the Kyuubi rampage, it made the Kyuubi kill Naruto's parents, and that is Obito's biggest sin. So in your opinion, among the members of AKATSUKI, who has the most mistakes and sins? Thanks for the likes and subs. I'm Nim. See you in the next episode. Bye bye, Dadabayo.